year 1635 AD, a wise man left behind a teaching that, at first glance, seems almost trivial. He said, "When your mind asks for water, let it wait for a while." Not because drinking water is harmful, but because the mind must not become addicted to receiving whatever it wants instantly. Nearly 400 years later, in the 21st century, we can feel the truth of his words more than ever. For today, humanity is drowning in a sea of instant gratification. Hungry, your food arrives in minutes without leaving the couch. Bored, 1,000 shows stream instantly. Restless, social media algorithms feed you an endless river of dopamine. We live in an age where comfort is always one click away. Yet paradoxically, we've never felt more anxious, restless, and fragile. Why? Because as the Stoics warned long before us, the man who cannot master his impulses is not free. He is a slave. Epictetus said it with brutal clarity. No man is free who is not master of himself. His teaching is not about water, it is about freedom. A freedom that begins not in politics, not in wealth, but in your own mind. The hidden slavery of the modern mind. Imagine this. Your mind is like an untrained animal. Give it treats whenever it barks, and soon the animal believes it rules you. It demands, it pulls, it controls. This is what instant gratification has done to us. Every ping of a notification, every craving for sugar, every urge to scroll endlessly, each one tightens the leash around our necks. Seneca, the Roman Stoic, warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And how do we waste it? By letting the mind drag us from one fleeting pleasure to the next. The question is, will you remain the servant? Or will you, as Sidi Abdullah Hossein urged, teach the mind to wait? Why waiting builds strength? When you pause, even for something as small as a sip of water, you are sending message to your own mind. You are not the master, I am. This small act builds something monumental. Discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strength does not begin in the gym. It begins in the invisible battlefield of the mind. And every time you resist instant gratification, even for a few moments, you forge inner armor that cannot be easily broken. Some real-world example for you. Take the example of exercise. What actually prevents you from exercising? Exercising is good. Everyone knows this. Yet why can't so many people exercise regularly? Because your mind wants instant gratification. You are sitting on the sofa, lying on the bed. This comfort it does not want to leave. But once you put on your workout clothes, once you wear your shoes, the mental barrier to go exercise is greatly reduced. And after exercising, the mind itself enjoys it. But since they have become slaves of the mind, in weak, lonely moments, they feel a kind of helplessness. Yet the surprising matter is, our mind itself is like a pet dog. It will behave the way we train it. If we keep fulfilling each of its demands instantly, it will begin to think of itself as the master and us as its slaves. But if we strategically deprive it of certain demands, at first it will become restless and start protesting, but in the end it will be forced to accept. For those who exercise regularly, going to exercise not only becomes easier, but they enjoy it immensely. Because of the endorphins released in the body during exercise, A person feels a kind of joy. The mind then gets the taste of that joy, and gradually it begins to want that instead. Yet before building this habit, the mind thought how pleasant it was to sit comfortably on the sofa. The same thing happens in the case of spiritual habits as well. Learning. Spend 30 minutes reading, and your mind will protest. Too long, too boring. Yet it happily spends 2 hours in a movie or scrolling. Why? Because it's addicted to easy dopamine. But push through and soon your mind adjusts. Miss a study session and you'll feel incomplete, even if your mind is just the desire to drink a glass of water. Do not fulfill it immediately. Wait 5 to 10 minutes. Through this, the mind is told, you are not the master, you are the servant. You must wait. Though this act may seem small, in reality, it can create the foundation for bringing great changes into our lives. So how do you apply this wisdom, both from wise people and the Stoics, in your daily life? Here are practices that will forge your inner steel. Training the mind like a warrior. At first, your mind will fight back. It will whine, it will make excuses, it will tempt you with pleasure. But here's the secret. The more you resist, the weaker those cravings become. Slowly your mind learns, it bends, it obeys. Just as a warrior trains for battle through hardship, you train for life by resisting the easy path. Seneca again gives us the battle cry. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. A story of transformation. Let's make this real. There was once a man who wanted to become a writer, but every evening his mind begged him, relax, watch TV, scroll for a while. For years he obeyed, writing nothing. One day he tried something different. He told himself, write 1 page before doing anything else. The first days were torture. His mind screamed, but slowly the habit formed. 1 page turned into 5, 5 into chapters. Years later, he held a published book in his hands. What changed? Not talent, not luck, but discipline, the refusal to let the mind dictate every action. This is the same law whether you want to write, to train, to build, to grow. Discipline conquers. Excuses enslave. The fruit of discipline. When you live this way, something incredible happens. The sofa no longer tempts you. Social media no longer controls you. Food, cravings, even emotions lose their grip. You stop being a slave to the whims of your mind. Instead, your mind becomes your tool, your servant. Epictetus summarized it perfectly. Freedom is not achieved by satisfying desires, but by eliminating them. Closing your choice today. So remember the teaching. When your mind asks for water, let it wait. Train it gently but firmly, because if you can control the smallest desire, you can master the greatest. The Stoic agree, the true battle is not outside, it is inside, and the prize is not comfort, it is freedom. Now the question is, will you keep living as a servant to your cravings, or will you rise as the master of your mind? The choice is yours. If this message struck you, don't just keep it within. Like this video, share it with others. And do you want to be a slave to your mind or its master? Comment and let me know. If you are serious about leveling up, hit subscribe and tap the bell, because this is only the beginning of your journey to unshakable discipline.